Have you ever felt a pain so deep that it kept echoing long after the moment had passed? The kind of pain that doesn't leave a visible scar, but lingers inside your chest like a weight you can't drop. When someone hurts you, it's not just the action that cuts. It's the betrayal of trust, the shattering of dignity, and the quiet reminder that not everyone has the same heart as you. Emotional pain pierces deeper than any physical wound because it attacks the part of you that cannot be bandaged. It is a strike against your spirit, your worth, and your very sense of belonging. And yet, in that very pain lies the beginning of your greatest power. You see, the human mind is designed to hold on to hurt longer than joy. We replay the words, the moments, the coldness in their eyes over and over, as if our mind refuses to let us rest. And with each replay, the wound feels fresh, the anger grows sharper, and the silence feels heavier. That is why emotional pain can break even the strongest soul, not because of the act itself, but because of the endless echo it leaves behind. But what if you could use that echo to awaken something far greater inside you? What if the very pain that tried to destroy you became the fuel that built your strength? Every person who has been hurt faces a choice. You can let the pain define you, dragging you deeper into bitterness and resentment, or you can allow it to shape you into something unshakable. The truth is, pain will change you no matter what. But how it changes you is your decision. Will it make you small, or will it make you unstoppable? The ones who hurt you expect your silence, your brokenness, your defeat. But imagine the shock in their hearts when the wound they gave you becomes the fire that lights your rise. That is where your real revenge begins, not in anger, not in retaliation, but in transformation. And here is the reason you must keep listening. The best revenge is not about proving them wrong. It is about proving yourself right. It is about reclaiming your peace, your dignity, and your power so completely that their actions lose all control over you. It is about standing taller than you ever have, not in spite of the pain, but because of it. The scars you carry can become your armor, the tears you shed can water the roots of your growth, and the silence they left you in can become the space where your greatness is born. Stay with this message because by the end you will see that the deepest wound is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your victory. Anger feels like strength when it first rises. It surges through your chest, makes your hands shake, and convinces you that striking back will heal the wound. But what feels like fire in the beginning soon becomes poison that seeps into every part of your life. The more you replay what they did, the more control you hand back to the one who hurt you. You may think you are holding them hostage in your thoughts, but in reality, it is you who is chained. Every sleepless night, every imagined argument, every bitter thought is energy stolen from the life you could be living. And this is the trap. Anger tricks you into believing you are powerful, when all it does is keep you tied to the very people who wanted to break you. The mind has a habit of circling pain again and again. This cycle is called rumination, and it is why the same memories feel as raw years later as they did the first day. When you allow your mind to feed on anger, the person who hurt you doesn't need to lift a finger. They already live rent-free inside your head. They own your focus, your emotions, your peace. That is why rage is not revenge. It is surrender disguised as power. It gives them what they wanted all along, proof that they still matter more than your healing. But you were not born to stay trapped in that loop. You were not created to hand over your inner world to those who do not deserve it. The truth is, the more you dwell on anger, the less of yourself remains. Your dreams weaken, your relationships suffer, your energy fades, and worst of all, you become a reflection of the very pain you despise. That is not justice. That is self-destruction. The real victory begins when you stop feeding anger and start starving it. Imagine how disarming it is when the one who hurt you no longer sees rage in your eyes, but peace. Imagine the confusion when you no longer waste a breath speaking their name or a thought replaying their actions. When you choose not to let anger rule you, you reclaim your life, piece by piece. Every moment of calm you protect is a moment of freedom they cannot take from you. That is when the chains break, and that is when true revenge is born. Not in shouting, not in retaliation, but in refusing to give them another second of your power. You may not be able to control what they did, but you can control whether they still win. And when you choose to rise above anger, you prove something greater. Their actions may have wounded you, but they will never own you. Let them drown in the silence of your indifference while you rise into the life they never imagined you could build. That is revenge in its purest form. Silence is often misunderstood. Many see it as weakness, as if holding your tongue means you have surrendered. But silence, when chosen with strength, is one of the most powerful responses you can give. When you stop reacting, you stop feeding the very fire your enemy wants to see burn. They thrive on your outrage. They wait for your anger. They crave the evidence that they still matter in your world. Yet when you remain calm, when you refuse to grant them your words or your fury, you strip away the only power they thought they had. Silence unsettles them, but more importantly, it restores you. It protects your energy, it shields your mind, and it keeps your dignity intact. The truth is, silence is not emptiness. It is space, and in that space you heal. It is restraint, and in that restraint you grow. It is discipline, and discipline is freedom. When you respond with silence, you are not ignoring what happened. You are choosing not to let it own you. You are saying without words, "You no longer control me." And that declaration carries more weight than any argument ever could. It takes strength to hold back. Anyone can scream, anyone can throw words like weapons, but only the strong can master themselves enough to remain still. Silence is not passive. It is active control over your inner world. Every second you choose silence, you are proving that you are no longer chained to their actions. You are showing that their attempt to provoke you has failed, that their grip on your emotions is broken. And deep inside, that truth burns them more than any insult ever could. When you step into silence, you create clarity. You give yourself the chance to think, to breathe, to realign with who you are becoming. You cannot hear your own strength if you are always reacting to the noise of others. But in silence, your focus sharpens. You begin to see that the world is bigger than their betrayal, your future is brighter than their shadow, and your heart is stronger than their wound. In silence, you realize that their story in your life has ended, but yours has only just begun. So do not waste yourself on words that will never change them. Do not exhaust your soul trying to make them see what they are too blind to notice. Let your silence speak for you. Let your calmness confuse them. Let your peace scream louder than anger ever could, because the moment you no longer need to react is the moment you have already won. And that is the quietest yet most devastating form of revenge, the kind that leaves them powerless while you walk away stronger, lighter, and untouchable. Strength is not something you are given. It is something you build, piece by piece, in the moments when you could break but choose not to. The people who hurt you may have thought they left you shattered, but every wound is also a lesson. Every tear is proof that you survived. And survival is the foundation of power. To build inner strength is to take what was meant to destroy you and turn it into fuel for your rise. You do not need their apology. You do not need their recognition. What you need is the discipline to transform pain into progress until the memory of what they did no longer controls you, but instead pushes you to become unshakable. Inner strength does not grow in comfort. It grows in the storm. Every time you face pain and choose not to let it break you, you are training your mind to endure. You are proving to yourself that you can stand when it would be easier to collapse. That resilience becomes your armor. It means no one can ever wound you the same way again. And when others see your strength, they realize the truth. They could hurt you once, but they will never have the power to do it again. The key to this transformation lies in focus. If you focus on their betrayal, you stay weak. If you focus on your growth, you become powerful. The energy you waste replaying what they did could instead be building your body, sharpening your mind, deepening your skills, and strengthening your character. Strength is not just about enduring pain. It is about using it as momentum to move forward. Each day you choose discipline over distraction. Each moment you choose patience over reaction, you are stacking bricks that no one can tear down. Building strength is not about becoming hard or cold. It is about becoming centered. It is the ability to stand tall while the world tries to shake you. It is the quiet confidence of knowing that nothing outside of you has the power to break what you have built within. Strength is clarity. Strength is stability. Strength is the calm force that reminds you who you are when others try to make you doubt yourself. And here is the greatest truth. Your strength is the ultimate revenge. Because those who wanted to see you small will have to watch you grow larger than ever. Those who hope to see you on your knees will have to face the reality of your unshakable rise. They may have given you pain, but you have turned it into power. And in that power, you are untouchable. Build your inner strength until their memory is nothing more than a shadow behind the light of who you have become. Success is the sharpest response to betrayal. Nothing unsettles those who doubted you more than watching you rise beyond the limits they tried to place on you. When people hurt you, they expect your collapse. They expect you to remain bitter, broken, and small. But when you take the same pain and turn it into the fuel for your ambition, you create a transformation that their actions can never undo. Success is not about proving them wrong with words. It is about proving yourself right with results. It is the silence of achievement, the undeniable weight of progress, and the unstoppable momentum of a life lived fully in your power. When you choose to succeed, you deny them the satisfaction of watching you shrink. You deny them the victory of seeing you defeated. Instead, you build something greater than their cruelty could ever touch. Each step you take toward your goals is a rejection of their attempt to define you. Every milestone you reach is proof that their actions did not break you, but instead awakened something stronger within you. Success transforms pain into a statement that cannot be argued with. It is louder than anger, more piercing than revenge, and more lasting than any grudge. The psychology is simple. People feel envy when they see what they cannot achieve themselves. The same ones who tried to wound you will have to confront their own failure when they see you thriving. They expected you to crumble, but instead you stand taller. They believe they had silenced you, but your success speaks volumes. Nothing burns deeper than realizing the person they tried to bury has grown into something unshakable, something undeniable, something untouchable. But the power of success goes beyond how it affects them. It transforms you. Every step forward builds confidence. Every victory, no matter how small, restores the parts of you they tried to take away. Success reminds you of your worth, your ability, and your potential. It shifts your focus from the wound to the vision, from what you lost to what you can still create. It proves that your life is bigger than their betrayal and your future brighter than their shadow. Do not waste your strength on bitterness when you can invest it in building. Do not give them more of your energy when that energy can be poured into creating a life so powerful it silences every doubt. Success is not about revenge in the shallow sense. It is about reclaiming your destiny. It is about rising so high that the pain becomes irrelevant, the betrayal becomes a memory, and the hurt becomes nothing more than the spark that ignited your greatness. Let them watch, let them see, and let your success be the answer they can never escape. Forgiveness is one of the hardest choices you will ever face, yet it is also the one that sets you free. Not because the one who hurt you deserves it, but because you deserve peace. Holding on to anger ties you to the past, chains you to the wound, and poisons your spirit day by day. Forgiveness does not mean welcoming them back into your life. It does not mean pretending the pain never happened. It means you are done carrying the weight they left on your shoulders. It means you refuse to let their actions own your heart any longer. Forgiveness is not a gift you give to them. It is a gift you give to yourself. The truth is, grudges destroy from the inside out. Resentment creates stress, bitterness eats at your energy, and anger burns the very peace you long for. The person who hurt you may sleep peacefully while you replay their actions. They may move on while you stay trapped in the memory, but when you forgive, you cut that cord. You take back your power. You declare that they may have wounded you once, but they will never continue to wound you through your thoughts. That is the real victory. Forgiveness does not erase the pain, but it transforms it. It changes the way you carry it. Instead of dragging it like a chain, you wear it as a reminder of your strength. Instead of letting it break you, you allow it to remind you of who you have become. Forgiveness is the act of releasing yourself from their control. It is standing tall and saying, "You no longer define my emotions, my choices, or my future." That is strength in its purest form. Many believe forgiveness makes you weak. But the opposite is true. It takes more courage to release than to hold on. Anyone can remain bitter. Anyone can keep the fire of anger alive. But it takes discipline and power to let go, to choose freedom over resentment, and to refuse to carry someone else's darkness inside your soul. Forgiveness is not about them. It is about reclaiming your life. It is about choosing healing over hatred, clarity over chaos, and peace over pain. When you forgive, you rise above. You send a message louder than any words could ever deliver. You cannot be controlled. You cannot be defined by betrayal. You cannot be kept in the prison of the past. You are free. And nothing unsettles those who hurt you more than realizing you have found peace without them. Let forgiveness be the shield that protects your spirit, the decision that ends the cycle, and the choice that proves your strength. They may never ask for it. They may never deserve it. But you deserve freedom. And forgiveness is the key that unlocks it. Dignity is the crown you must never remove, no matter how deep the wound or how sharp the betrayal. When people hurt you, their hidden desire is to drag you down to their level, to make you react with the same bitterness and cruelty they carry within themselves. The moment you explode in rage, the moment you lose your composure, you give them proof that they still have control. But when you stand tall, calm, and unshaken, you show them something far greater. You show them that they may have touched your life, but they will never touch your spirit. Dignity is the shield that keeps you untouchable. It is not about staying silent out of fear. It is about responding with restraint because you know your worth is too high to waste on petty battles. Dignity is not loud. It does not need to be. It speaks in the way you carry yourself, in the way you choose not to engage, in the way you rise above every attempt to drag you lower. The psychology is simple. Self-respect grows when your actions align with your values. Every time you choose dignity over reaction, you strengthen the bond you have with yourself. You prove that no matter what they did, you still belong to you. Your enemies do not know how to fight dignity. They can fight words, they can fight anger, but they cannot fight composure. Nothing stings more than seeing the person they tried to break still standing with unshakable grace. Your calmness humiliates them without you needing to say a word. It forces them to confront their own weakness because their cruelty could not strip you of your power. Dignity is revenge wrapped in silence, a weapon so sharp that it cuts without effort. But beyond how it affects them, dignity protects you. When you remain composed, you save yourself from regret. You save yourself from saying words you cannot take back, from actions that would only pull you lower. You keep your energy intact, your peace unbroken, and your focus steady on the life you are building. Dignity is self-control, and self-control is freedom. The more you master it, the less anyone outside of you can disturb the world within. And that is where your greatest strength lies. Not in proving them wrong with anger, but in proving yourself unshakable with grace. Dignity ensures that no matter what they did, they will never own the way you carry yourself. They will never take the crown from your head or the fire from your soul. Walk with dignity, and you walk with power that cannot be touched. Every step of composure is revenge that speaks louder than fury, louder than bitterness, louder than hate. And in that walk, you rise above everything they tried to drag you into, leaving them lost in their own darkness while you stand in the light of your strength. Those who try to hurt you often reveal more about themselves than they ever do about you. Their cruelty is not a reflection of your worth, but a mirror of their own emptiness. People project what they cannot handle inside themselves. The anger they throw at you is the anger they secretly hold for their own failures. The lies they spread about you are the insecurities they carry within. The betrayal they inflict is the proof of their lack of integrity. When you understand this, you stop taking their actions personally. You begin to see that their attempt to wound you was never truly about you. It was about the storm they cannot control within themselves. Psychology shows us that projection is a defense mechanism. It is the weak trying to hide from their own reflection. They cannot face their flaws, so they push them onto others. And when they chose you, it was not because you were broken. It was because you were strong enough to expose what they were not. Their attack is not evidence of your weakness. It is evidence of your strength. You triggered in them the very insecurities they have spent their lives running from. You became the mirror they could not escape. This is why thriving is the ultimate revenge. When you rise higher, when you grow stronger, when you shine brighter, you force them to look into the mirror they fear the most. They cannot deny the truth of their own failures when your success stands as proof of what is possible. They cannot hide from their own weakness when your strength exposes what they lack, and that truth burns them far deeper than your anger ever could. You become a walking reminder of everything they tried to destroy but could not. The power lies in realizing you do not need to fight them. You do not need to scream or argue or prove anything with words. Your life becomes the proof. Your calmness reflects their chaos. Your progress reflects their stagnation. Your happiness reflects their emptiness. You do not need to strike back because their own reflection is the punishment they cannot escape. Every step you take forward, every ounce of peace you protect, every dream you bring to life becomes another crack in the mask they wear. So let them project their pain. Let them throw their shadows. Because the brighter you shine, the more those shadows expose themselves. Do not carry their darkness as your burden. Let them drown in the weight of their own reflection while you rise into the light of your strength. The best revenge is not to become like them, but to become everything they cannot. In the end, they will see themselves clearly, and you will stand unshaken, untouchable, and unstoppable. Peace is the most unexpected weapon you can wield. Those who hurt you expect war. They expect to see you broken, loud, reactive, and consumed by the chaos they created. They anticipate that their actions will trap you in a cycle of conflict. But when you choose peace, you take away everything they were hoping for. You show them that no matter what they did, they could not disturb the stillness inside you. Peace is not passive. It is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength, because it proves that you have mastered yourself in a world that tried to tear you apart. Peace disarms those who seek to provoke you. Anger feeds them, arguments entertain them, but peace confuses them. It leaves them powerless, because they cannot fight what does not fight back. The truth is, nothing unsettles someone more than realizing their chaos no longer affects you. When you remain calm in the face of their storm, you become untouchable. They may throw words like daggers, but they bounce off a soul at peace. They may try to create drama, but drama cannot survive without your participation, and when you refuse to join the battle, they are left fighting with their own emptiness. Peace is also a gift to yourself. When you protect your inner calm, you lower the stress that weighs on your body, you sharpen your clarity, and you reclaim the energy that anger would have stolen. Peace allows you to make better choices, to see opportunities where pain once blinded you, and to move forward without dragging the chains of resentment. Your mind becomes sharper, your heart becomes lighter, and your vision becomes clearer. That is why peace is not just a response to betrayal, it is a pathway to transformation. To choose peace does not mean you accept what they did. It does not mean you excuse their actions. It means you refuse to let their actions dictate your state of mind. You decide that your happiness, your future, and your stability are worth more than their attempt to hurt you. You choose to rise above, not because they deserve your calm, but because you deserve the life that only peace can give you. And here's the truth that will always stand. Peace is the revenge that never stops rewarding you. Anger burns quickly, but peace builds endlessly. It strengthens you every day, it silences your enemies without a word, and it creates a future untouched by their betrayal. Let them rage, let them plot, let them drown in the storms they created. While they destroy themselves with bitterness, you will walk forward in peace, untouchable, unshaken, and free. That is the victory they can never take away. True strength is revealed in the moments when you choose silence over reaction, when you rise above the noise instead of being dragged into it. The power to stay calm is not a sign of indifference. It is the mark of discipline. It shows that your emotions are not at the mercy of anyone else's behavior. It shows that you refuse to be a puppet pulled by the strings of someone's manipulation. This is the highest level of self-mastery, where your peace is unshakable, your mind is focused, and your heart remains steady no matter what storms surround you. Every time you hold your ground without losing yourself, you grow stronger. You become untouchable because you no longer give people access to control your mood, your energy, or your direction. The moment you stop reacting, you reclaim your power. You shift from being controlled to being in control. That is when you realize that calmness is not weakness. It is a weapon. It is the shield that keeps you unbroken when others expect you to fall apart. It is the force that makes you stand taller when everything is designed to pull you down. The calm within you is your greatest advantage. It allows you to think clearly when others are clouded by rage. It allows you to see solutions when others only see conflict. It allows you to protect your energy, preserve your vision, and continue forward without being slowed by unnecessary battles. While others waste their strength on arguments and chaos, you are building yours in silence. While they are drained by anger, you are fueled by clarity. This is how calmness becomes your secret power. To master calmness is to master freedom. No one can hold power over you if you do not hand them the keys to your emotions. They may try to provoke you, insult you, or challenge you, but they cannot win if you do not participate. Their words only matter if you give them meaning. Their actions only affect you if you allow them to penetrate your peace. The strongest stance you can take is to remain steady, unmoved, and secure in who you are. This is not avoidance. It is control. It is the refusal to waste your life feeding battles that do not deserve your energy. The world belongs to those who remain unshaken, the ones who rise above instead of sinking into the chaos, the ones who know that calmness is not just a reaction, but a choice, a discipline, and a lifestyle. When you choose calm, you choose victory. You walk through life with an armor that cannot be pierced, a strength that cannot be broken, and a peace that cannot be stolen. That is the mark of someone who has truly mastered themselves. That is the kind of power that nothing and no one can take away. The ability to remain calm when provoked is not only a sign of maturity, it is evidence that you value your energy too much to waste it on chaos. Every time you refuse to be pulled into negativity, you strengthen your grip on your own destiny. Life will always present triggers, but the difference between those who rise and those who collapse lies in their response. Reacting impulsively is easy. Anyone can lash out, argue, or lose control, but it takes true strength to breathe, to stay steady, and to let silence speak louder than any words ever could. Calmness is not passivity. It is not weakness. It is the conscious choice to direct your energy only toward what truly matters. It is the discipline of protecting your peace like a treasure, because that peace is what allows you to move with clarity and purpose. Anger blurs vision. Impulse destroys progress. But calmness clears the path. It keeps you aligned with your higher self and prevents you from lowering yourself to the level of those who seek to pull you down. The one who remains calm is the one who remains in control. Every trigger you resist is a victory. Every insult that does not shake you is proof of growth. Every attempt to provoke you that fails reveals your strength. This is how transformation happens, not in loud outbursts, but in quiet restraint. The more you master this discipline, the more untouchable you become. You start to realize that no one has power over you unless you hand it to them. And when you stop handing it over, you rise above. You break free. You walk with a presence that cannot be shaken, and others begin to feel the weight of your strength without you ever needing to prove it. Peaceful power is the most intimidating power of all. It cannot be manipulated, it cannot be broken, it cannot be defeated. When you embody calmness, you no longer react to the noise around you, you make others react to the silence within you. You stop being predictable, and in that unpredictability lies your strength. People cannot control what they cannot shake, and that is what you become, unshakable. Calmness turns you into a force that moves without resistance, like water flowing around rocks, unstoppable because it does not fight, it simply continues. Your calm is your crown. Protect it fiercely, because it is what elevates you above the noise of the world. It is what gives you the clarity to choose wisely, to act with purpose, and to keep building the life you are meant to live. Those who master calmness are not enslaved by circumstances, they are liberated by discipline. And that liberation is priceless, because it makes you the author of your emotions, the guardian of your peace, and the ruler of your own destiny. Calmness is more than the absence of reaction. It is the mastery of your inner state when the outside world tries to dictate how you should feel. It is the shield that protects you from wasting energy on distractions and the sword that cuts through illusions designed to shake your focus. When you choose calm over chaos, you are not denying what is happening around you, you are choosing not to let it own you. This is the essence of true freedom. The ability to remain grounded when storms rage, the ability to stand tall when everything around you tries to make you fall. When people attempt to trigger you, they are often projecting their own insecurities, anger, or frustrations. If you meet them with fire, you only add fuel to their weakness. But if you remain still, they are left alone with their own chaos, forced to confront what they cannot transfer to you. That silence is not emptiness, it is power. It forces the world to see that you are no longer available to be a puppet of circumstances. You belong to yourself, and that belonging makes you untouchable. The mind is trained by repetition, and each time you choose restraint over reaction, you are reprogramming yourself for greatness. You are teaching your nervous system that not every provocation deserves attention. You are showing your emotions that they are servants, not masters. With every choice of calm, you reclaim another piece of yourself that was once surrendered to anger, pride, or fear. This is how you become whole, unbroken, and aligned with your purpose. There is a rare dignity in stillness. It commands respect without demanding it. People may not always understand it, but they will feel it. They will sense the quiet power in your presence, the strength in your composure, and the depth in your silence. That depth is what separates those who are easily swayed by the winds of opinion from those who stand like mountains, unshaken by the noise of the world. Calmness gives you that mountain-like presence, unmovable, unshakable, undeniable. And this presence changes how you live. It shifts how you make decisions. Because when you are calm, you see clearly. You no longer act out of desperation, you act out of wisdom. You no longer choose based on emotion, you choose based on truth. That clarity saves you years of regret. because it prevents you from building your future on temporary feelings. Instead, you build it on the solid ground of intention and vision. Every breath you take in calmness is an affirmation that you are in control of yourself, no matter what comes. And that is the highest form of strength, for the one who controls themselves cannot be controlled by anyone else. And once you understand that, you realize you already possess the most powerful weapon in the world, mastery of your own inner state.